Hey, I'm Jen and welcome back to my channel. So everyone's heard of resistance bands, and a lot of times people think of resistance bands for rehab or for stretching. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use resistance bands to completely change your body, reduce fat, tighten your skin, and finally get that better body that you've been looking for. So if you're a woman over 40 or 50 like me and really struggling with getting results from your workouts or just not sure what to do, then this video is for you. Have you ever lifted weights and thought, why am I not seeing the changes that I want to see? A lot of it has to do with something called the strength curve. Most people have never heard of it, but once you understand it, you'll see why bands can outperform weights. So when you lift weights, so say for 10 pounds, this is always 10 pounds. So when you start to when you finish, it's 10 pounds, but we're not equally strong in all the ranges of this motion. And typically we're weakest at the beginning of a lift and then strongest towards the middle and the end of a lift. So then this causes a mismatch because then you're only challenging your muscles where it's the hardest. And then you're putting a lot of stress on your muscle and joint where you're the weakest. And then we're told as menopausal women, perimenopausal women to lift heavier and heavier. But then this is causing and can cause and did for me a lot of joint issues. On top of it, I was taking the time to lift the weights and my body really wasn't changing. And at some points it was even looking worse when I was lifting heavier and my diet wasn't on point. And like I've said in other videos, most women's diet aren't 100% on point. So then I wound up looking a lot worse instead of looking better. And a lot of us are exercising and lifting weights and doing the classes because of course we want to be healthier, but we want to look better. And if we're putting in all the time, it's great that we're healthier, of course, don't get me wrong. But for putting in all that time, most of us want to look better. We want to look like we're putting in the effort. And with weights, there's so many limitations as we get older because we can't keep lifting heavier. I couldn't keep lifting heavier. Most women don't want to keep lifting heavier. So that's when I discovered bands and did the deep dive into bands. So I'm going to show you and talk to you about the ways that you can use bands to completely change your body, and you are never going to look at weights the same way again. Now, I showed you with weights how there's a limitation because it's 10 pounds at the beginning of the lift and then 10 pounds through the whole way of the lift. And we're strongest from the middle to the top range of the motion. And that's why bands are, I feel like, so much better than weights. When you use a band, whichever band that you want to use, I'll talk about bands a little bit later and the different options. But when you use a band, it's easy here down at the bottom, which is where we're the weakest. And then it progressively gets harder and harder, which is great because that's what we want, more of a challenge where we are getting stronger. And then therefore it doesn't put any pressure on your joints because it's not putting a lot of pressure where you're weak. This is where it's the easiest, gets harder, 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 and this is where we're the strongest, and that's where you want it harder. So it's varying in the tension, varying in the weight that it's putting on your muscle, so that enables you to really get better results, get stronger, because you're challenging your muscle where you are the strongest. Now, with bands, you're going to have more time under tension, which is another bonus. So it's engaging your muscle for a longer amount of time. It's challenging you in a different way. The constant tension is stimulating muscle growth and it's boosting circulation and blood flow, which is key. Being an esthetician for over 20 years, owning a med spa, circulation is key in having better skin, have your skin look better, more of a glow, more of a radiance, a tightening effect, and a firming effect. When I started training with bands, and specifically this band because of the versatility of this band, I'm going to show you other bands as well because a lot of you have other bands, but I want to show you the versatility when you have a band and that you can obviously like change your hand placement in different ways. When you're challenging your muscle with a band and you have more flexibility in the weight, holding the weight, because you're not stressing yourself with a heavy weight down at the bottom. It's easy at the bottom. So when I started training and I was getting tired, I started shortening the range of motion because I was still able to lift up here where I was stronger, but it was harder, down here where I was weaker. So then I created this whole method where I was continually having more time under tension by training my muscles in the areas where I was the strongest. So this also enabled me to get stronger. So a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to lose your strength, you're going to lose your muscle. And honestly, I've done other videos on it. I increased my strength. I went to the gym and I tested it. You can watch that video. And I have decreased my body fat. Now, if you know, when you are closer to your ideal weight, to your goal weight, to lower body fat percentage, and someone that has worked out for a long time, it's very, very hard to change your body. So a lot of people, when they haven't worked out and then they start working out, they get what they're called newbie gains, right? Because you're new to the gym, you're getting a lot of progress because you're brand new to the gym, and then it really slows down in getting results. So for me to get results as fast as I did, I was shocked, more shocked than anyone, because I've been training for a long time. And to make any changes in my body has been like the slowest process ever until I discovered bands and doing it in this particular way. So there is a free guide down below where I documented how I kind of started on this journey and the things that I did, the exercises that I did, how I used the band to get results. And I have since created a 30-day challenge that goes into more exercises that I've been doing along the way. And you can find information on that as well below. Now, for training legs, I do a very similar type of, I guess, drop set. You can continually challenge your muscles in the stronger parts of your leg exercises with a band. When I used to train with weights, I would do a lot of drop sets, but I actually like this better. So training with a band in this way is so much faster because I can change the band and do upper body, do lower body, do my core, bring it to the park, do it in the kitchen, okay? And I don't have to like keep changing out the bands, but I'm gonna show you other bands. So for this one, I step on the band, okay? And then as I progress, you can use 2 bands. So you can change your hand placement on the band. So I like this because they are loops, like actual handles versus like the string bands, which are harder to hold. So you would step back into your reverse lunge and then do a whole bunch of those. So 10 to 12. And then as you're getting fatigued, you can continually do the same motion, but drop one of the sides. So then keep challenging your muscle. So this is just one leg exercise. I do this with deadlifts as well, all different types of leg exercises. And then I would drop this side and then continue to do the movement I've showed in other videos where I'll change the height to make it even harder. So it's like a deficit lunge, and also you can do a deficit for a lot of different leg exercises to continually challenge your body and to get results. So this is like no weight training. I'm telling you, it feels completely different. The results are so much better and so much faster. Now, if you have other bands, which I have a million bands, okay? If you have bands like this, you can do a lot of these exercises. It's just one, not as comfortable, and it takes, time to switch out the bands. So it's hard to use this for legs, so for this, I put my ankles into it and do it. Or I step on it and then put my foot into like one of the loops and then do my kickbacks. And you can completely change the tension by which loop you're stepping on or putting your foot in. So you can't really do it with these type of bands. So it just creates more of a challenge when you have bands like this. The other thing about bands like this, and I'm telling you, I have a million, I've tried them. I'm just telling you, this band is the fastest way to do a workout and just be done and get results. If you have a band like this, great. This one's really hard for me. That's the other problem. If you have a lot of bands, they're different tensions, right? Different amounts of weight. So then you're kind of switching in and out because this just has the handles here. So if I was doing like bicep curls and this is really hard, then I can't easily like come down here and change the tension and hold it. Then I'm holding it like this, which is like awkward, where the other one has like the built-in handles. And then also for like biceps, I like to change when I'm exercising, like how my hand is. So from an underhand grip to overhand, and then even like holding it this way, all the exercises that I like to do, I change my hand placement to target different parts of the muscle. And when you have a band like this, it's really hard to change, how, unless you're holding this handle, but then the tension is too much. So you have to like change it, which is fine, but it just doesn't have as much like flexibility in being able to adapt to the exercise as fast. And then there's these, which are also convenient and good, but there's a lot of just like limitations in this. So if you wanted to go further down and make it more challenging, then you have to hold the band kind of like this, and that's not ideal. You want to hold it like an actual handle, but you could make it work if you wanted to. It just takes a lot longer. So now with the band, whatever band you choose to use, the way that I like to do it and the way I've gotten the best results is, like I said, so you go through the whole range of motion, but since you're able to still continue to keep training, you want to train where you're stronger, right? So then you would continue the movement. And then when you got tired there, then you would shorten the movement even more and really work in your strongest range of motion. And then I like to just pulse it out until it's like really on fire and I can't go anymore. So for everybody that's different. It really depends on your strength and where you're starting from. And then you would continue to make it more challenging as you go along. So increase the tension on your muscle as you keep getting stronger and stronger. I would say one of the biggest benefits of discovering this way of training is the time saving. So I'm a mom of 3. I have a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So I'm all over the place and I own 2 businesses. And I'm also a personal trainer. So I've tried so many things. You see, I have a lot of things here. And this by far has been the best thing I have discovered. So I wanted to share it with you because if it can help me, and I'm no different than anybody else, then I know it can help a lot of you. And I want to give you ideas of how I'm doing the band training. I have other videos where I've done a workout on YouTube. I have the program that has more specifics. And I'm always posting different ideas of quick little things that you can do here and there. That's the other thing. I'll do like 5 minutes here. I take it to the park with me. And when my 6-year-old is playing, I'll go to a bench and I'll do exercises. And I'm always filming those and uploading them to just give you ideas of how you literally can do this anywhere. And it really adds up. Those 5 minutes here, those 5 minutes there. And it's just so much easier on your joints and on your body. The amount of blood flow and circulation and the getting the tighter skin and the less cellulite is another amazing bonus because I did not get that through weight training, through classes, through Pilates. I was a Pilates instructor. I was a spin instructor and never had amazing body changes. I've always been kind of skinny fat and really have struggled. Now, of course, your diet does make a difference. And I have dialed in my diet a lot since I turned, I think, 49. I'm 51 now. Little by little, I've been making it better and better, taking out the processed food, increasing my protein, and increasing my fiber. This workout has been life-changing for me. And my parents passed away in a car accident. And if my mom was here, she was always struggling with her body and she hated working out. And I wish I would have known this to help her just be able to change her body and build her confidence as she was getting older and suffering a lot from anxiety and depression. And now what I know, she was in menopause and there's so much I wish I could have shared with her. So I'm sharing it with you because my passion is really helping women age with confidence and strength. So I am passing this information to you. I cannot pass it on to my mom, but I can pass it on to you. When you start training more with bands, you're going to notice your increase in your heart rate, which is great. I think that's another bonus and another reason I was able to drop more body fat because it had my heart rate a lot higher than just traditional weight training. I stopped long cardio a long time ago and I only do steps. I try and aim for 10 to 15,000 steps. Again, that adds up a little bit here, a little bit there. Get your steps in. That's really important as well. Don't sit all day. It's not great. And also, I like to just get my heart rate up a few times a week for a short amount of time. 5 minutes really is all I do to get my heart rate up. And then I just do a lot of steps. And I utilize the band for that. It's called sit training, speed interval training, sprint interval training, or short interval training, whatever you want to call it. It's a great way to get your heart rate really high and then bring it back down, challenge your heart as you get older, and just helps burn more of that visceral fat that we're all struggling with in menopause. So it's amazing for that. There's a ton of studies on the more sit training or HIIT training, but for a shorter amount of time, not the HIIT classes. Trust me, I've done the HIIT classes. That did not help me shed body fat. Shorter amounts of time is what helped me to shed the body fat faster. Not long classes, not 40-minute classes, not even like 35-minute boot camp classes. None of those helped me in the way that band training and short, high-intensity workouts have changed my body. And as an esthetician, I can't not mention this. I'm sorry I mentioned this in all my videos, but not all of you have seen all my videos. So I just want to include in about the fascia sculpting. So fascia sculpting is a great way to also help increase your blood flow and circulation. There's a specific way that I do it. There's a free guide down below, but this also a few minutes every day has helped with my cellulite and my skin firming. And I've done it everywhere. I do it on my arms, my belly, and my legs. And this has really, I swear, also helped. And it helps because in addition to doing the band training, we do in general sit a lot, stand a lot in not the right ways. This a lot of time causes a restricted blood flow. And when we have restricted blood flow and we don't have good blood flow and circulation, it worsens our cellulite and our skin just doesn't look as good. So using a tool like this just keeps everything going. The vibration plate, I love the vibration plate in the morning, especially after I've been laying down all night and my blood flow and circulation is really slowed down. I like to just get everything going, but I can't not talk about this because it's a big part of my journey in changing my body. So again, there's more information down below. I don't want to go into it in every video, specifically what I do, but these are the two things, the band training and the fascia sculpting, that have really helped me in my struggles to firm up my body over the age of 50. Please comment down below any areas that you're struggling, different body parts that you're struggling with. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because a lot of you that are following me aren't getting notified of my videos that I'm uploading, so that you can see those. And definitely comment down below any questions, because I check all the comments. You will see I get back to you. Let me know what I can help you with, and I'm happy to do more videos. Check out some of my other videos that I have posted about different products that I like, skin firming, cellulite, all the things. If you like this content, keep on watching, and I will see you in the next one.